Taehyung confesses he's sad. Jungkook leaves for America because of this, ARMY's Heartbroken. Welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest and most emotional BTS moments, with heart, honesty, and all the love ARMYs deserve. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat in the BTS universe. Now, grab a tissue, because this one, it hits different. Did you ever imagine a day when the golden duo of BTS, Taehyung and Jungkook, would be oceans apart, not because of schedules or military service, but because of something deeper, something more personal? Today, we're diving into a story that has left armies across the globe shaken, with tears streaming and questions flooding every comment section. Why is Taehyung sad? And what drove Jungkook to leave for America so suddenly? It started quietly, too quietly for armies used to hearing every rustle from their 7 stars. Taehyung, usually glowing with mischief or mischief-laced poetry on Weverse, had been unusually silent. His Instagram, once a gallery of vintage filters and soulful stares, was paused like an unfinished love song. And then, late one night, a single post appeared, simple, almost cryptic. I miss the times when we laughed without worrying about tomorrow. V. It was followed by a black and white photo of the Han River, the kind of shot that only Taehyung could make feel like a sigh frozen in time. Within minutes, armies knew something was wrong. And what made it worse? Just hours before, Jungkook had been spotted at Incheon International Airport, boarding a quiet, almost secretive flight bound for Los Angeles. Speculations exploded. Was this about a project? Was it military-related? Or, was there something unspoken between the 2 youngest BTS members, something hidden behind the curated smiles and stylized photoshoots? Let's rewind for a second. Go back just 2 weeks. Jungkook and Taehyung had been seen dining late at night in Seoul, a private dinner at a quiet restaurant known to be their usual escape. Fans who happened to be nearby noted that while Jungkook seemed upbeat, occasionally laughing and gesturing animatedly, Taehyung looked withdrawn. He wasn't his usual expressive self. And then, this chilling detail, after their dinner ended, the two didn't leave together. Jungkook walked off alone, earbuds in, disappearing into the night. Taehyung stood at the curb, watching. Still. At the time, it felt like a minor, even forgettable moment. But now, in the light of everything that's followed, it feels monumental. When Jungkook landed in Los Angeles, armies in the US expected him to appear at the usual spots, HYB America, a rumored collab studio in Beverly Hills, maybe a shoot with Calvin Klein. But instead, something odd happened. For almost 48 hours, there were no sightings. No staff photos, no paparazzi leaks, nothing. Then came the Weverse post. Sometimes distance is the only way to protect something you love. Jungkook. That was it. No photo. No explanation. But that one sentence hit harder than any full-blown explanation ever could. What was he protecting? Here's where things get emotional. According to a source close to the team, and we're treating this with the care it deserves, Taehyung and Jungkook had been dealing with growing emotional tension, not because of anger or rivalry, but because of how much they cared. With enlistment separating them soon, both had tried to mask the inevitable, the slow, painful unraveling of daily togetherness. No more spontaneous car rides. No more 2 a.m. karaoke sessions. No more late-night conversations about art, anxiety, and the weight of fame. Insiders claim Jungkook made a decision, one that he believed was necessary. He would step back, take space, go to the US, work on his solo chapter, and give Taehyung room to process the coming shift. But what he didn't count on was how much it would hurt Taehyung. You see, Taehyung isn't the kind to beg someone to stay. He's the kind who watches from a window, writes a poem in silence, and hides his heartbreak in metaphors. But the cracks showed. During his recent Celine appearance in Paris, fans noticed it wasn't just the styling that had changed, it was him. The sparkle in his eye was dimmer. His smile, polite, but empty. Even as the flashes of the cameras exploded around him, there was something hollow behind the elegance. And then came the moment no one was ready for. During a private behind-the-scenes video, shot as part of a fashion documentary, Taehyung was caught off guard during a candid question. "Is there anyone you're missing right now?" There was a pause. The kind of silence that feels like thunder. And then, he simply said, Jungkook. No smile. No attempt to laugh it off. Just raw honesty, and a blink that almost looked like he was fighting back tears. In that single word, a world of feeling erupted. Fans immediately took to Twitter, flooding the platform with tributes, edits, and even personal letters expressing how much the Taehyung bond meant to them. Because for so many, these two aren't just idols, they are the embodiment of friendship that transcends cameras, fame, and even countries. But what if this isn't just temporary? What if this moment marks the beginning of a deeper separation, not just of distance, but of direction? The truth is, fame takes its toll in ways the public rarely sees. For Jungkook, every smile on stage comes with the pressure of being the golden magne. For Taehyung, every performance is a delicate balancing act between personal authenticity and public expectation. And in between those roles, their real selves often get lost. So when Jungkook left for America, maybe he wasn't running from Taehyung, maybe he was running for him. To build something stable, something new, that wouldn't be poisoned by the suffocating closeness of shared limelight. Maybe distance was the only way to preserve the purity of what they have. And yet, it still broke Taehyung's heart. And now, millions of armies are left wondering, will these two find their way back to each other, not just on stage, but in spirit? Because sometimes, even the strongest connections need to be broken, to be reborn. Time doesn't stop for anyone, not even for the stars we think will shine forever in the same sky. As Jungkook continues his time in America, working on rumored collaborations and possibly mapping out a new solo direction, Taehyung has remained in Seoul, but not in silence. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey. If this story moved you, even just a little, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with another army who needs to hear this. Subscribe for more deep dives, emotional truths, and the stories that connect us all across oceans and languages. And remember, sometimes the quietest love stories are the ones that last forever.